In developing countries, communications infrastructure is often one of the biggest obstacles to economic growth. Yet more than 90% of the global population has access to cell phone service. Tapan Parikh is harnessing that technology to overcome those obstacles. Tapan is a computer scientist specializing in interface design. He studies communications problems that hinder the open market and distribution of private aid. Then he designs simple cell phone interfaces to fix the bottlenecks. Tapan works collaboratively with communities in rural India, Guatemala, and Africa to develop appropriate information systems that support sustainable economic development. MIT's Technology Review recognized him as a top innovator under the age of 35 and Humanitarian of the Year in 2007, and Esquire named him one of the best and brightest.
Well, obviously you have to start with a bald head because it's striking and gleaming, and you add to that, particularly when you're in California as opposed to Seattle, the usual sunglasses, and you're not quite sure whether you're dealing with an academic or a rock star.
And he's a wicked, wicked softball player.
He often wears long flowing Indian robes, despite the fact that he was born in Long Island and has lived in Seattle for a long time. I think this is really indicative of where his heart is in rural India.
Tapan is a great guy. He is incredibly passionate about trying to alleviate the effects of poverty around the world. He's fundamentally committed to it. And at the same time, he brings a certain amount of academic rigor to that process.
It's rare to see that in a researcher where the work is so personal. And I think that is kind of what motivates Tap.
And yet, he will, in the end, accomplish far more than the rest of us because of this ability to just decide where he wants to go and pursue it.
He's truly one of these guys that has what I would characterize as a multiplier effect. He leverages his personality, he leverages his technical knowledge, and does so on behalf of people who are fortunate to have somebody of his caliber trying to figure out how technology can help them.
I first met Tapan when he was at the University of Washington as a PhD student, and he was already a pioneer then. So for example, with CAM, Tapan set up an organization in India that uses the tool as a way to help microfinance institutions work better.
CAM is the first example of a mobile data collection system, and what makes CAM different than other systems that essentially collect data is that it's particularly tied to the paper form itself. So instead of simply replacing paper with a mobile phone, CAM uses barcodes to augment that paper form. I think what TAP is trying to change in the developing world is this imbalance of power that exists. So the very poor essentially have no access to information, and thus they have no power, and the very wealthy do have access to information. And with a lot of the work that TAP does, he tries to leverage technology to solve these power imbalances, and I think that is how he sees his work changing the world.
Tapan has what in many cases is a rare combination. He's a technologist. In fact, he is a rock star, I think, as a technologist. But he also has an appreciation for the importance of linking technological solutions to sustainable business models.
He's as much trying to tap their intellect and power as trying to deliver something from outside.
Classic scholars often, solve problems that are within a particular paradigm with a set methodology, and Tapan sort of ignores that stuff. And it's really the sign of a very creative mind and intellect.
First of all, he leads by example. He teaches by example. Students instinctively get that about TAP.
TAP has taught certainly myself and the other folks in this department that there are these hard problems that need our ideas and our solutions.
Yesterday I had a discussion with one of TAP's students, and she said that one of the most important things for her has been his encouragement to take risk and then follow that risk, even when things may not look like they're going exactly what you want, but then move as far as you can, and then if it works, move on. If it doesn't work, move on.
His work has really inspired an entire generation of students to do computer science in developing regions, and I think that is probably his greatest achievement.
Probably one of TAP's crowning achievements thus far in his life has nothing to do with this career that we've been talking about, you know, and how wonderful a technologist he is, and how brilliant a teacher he is, and how respected a colleague he is. But it has to do with the birth of his second child.
And whereas many people find that balance by doing a little less of everything, somehow he finds that balance by doing a little bit more. And that, I think, was what really makes him special.
Tapan, congratulations. I think this is amazingly well deserved. It's not at all a surprise to me that they awarded this to you, and I look forward to more collaboration.
Tap, it's great that you got this award. I think it appropriately recognizes not just the tremendous caliber of teaching that you bring to your students, but also the passion that makes that teaching so real and so relevant and respected.
I just want to say, way to go, TAP. I mean, that is such a great achievement.
From the bottom of my heart, what a pleasure it has been to work with you, and how much I feel I personally have learned and benefited from seeing you and sensing what you are doing to change this world. Thank you for all that.
Hey, Tap, I just wanted to give you heartfelt congratulations from all of us Pirates working under your leadership. Congrats.
Tonight, we honor Tapan Parikh with the 2010 Early Career Achievement Award for his commitment to helping poor communities through the development of sustainable technology.